Happy morning.
Morning, Joyce,
Happy morning, Kian, and to everyone.
everyone. So today is our book take session episode 39, right? So
Yeah.
today we would like to talk about Joyce's favorite topic, book, food. Uh,
Happy morning. Okay.
Morning, Joyce.
Happy morning. Okay, let's go.
The book of the title is the title of the book is Food. What the
What?
food, right? Should I eat? So by Mark Heyman, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a book that Joyce recommends. So I would just want to give a very brief introduction about Dr. Mark Hyman first.
Okay.
Okay, so he is a leading health revolutions using food medicines as a medicine to support longevity, energy, mental clarities, happiness, and so much more. So Dr. Heyman is a practicing family physicians, so he's a physician, and an international recognized leader, speaker, educator, and advocate in the field of functional medicines. So I think you will hear a lot about functional medicine in these episodes. So he's the founder and directors of the Ultra Wellness Centers, the head strategy and innovation of the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicines, a 13-time New York Times best-selling author, book president for clinical affairs for the Institute of Functional Medicine. So he's the host for one of the leading health podcasts, the Doctor Pharmacy. So Dr. Heyman is a regular medical contributors in many television shows and networks. So today we will, hear about his book.
Yes. Love his book so much because I start to learn from Dr. Heyman is not from the book. I learn from his podcast and also like some interview. That is how I get to know about his work and I fall in love in what all the information that he shared because it's so relatable to our life and definitely for me as a food scientist and also nutrition coach that I really love all the information that he shared. So today we're going to talk about this book particularly. So I will talk and definitely Gideon, he will represent you all to ask me some questions that I don't know what he's going to ask me. Really, I don't know. Okay, let's go to the first one. First topic we're going to talk is about the meat. In this book, Dr. Heyman, he mentioned about the meat. For example, the beef, the lamb that we eat. Okay, for the chicken, for the poultry side, we put another side. All right. So right now we are heading directly to those meat. If you are the someone that still you do eat some meat, that for your protein intake, he recommend you to go for the grass-fed one, the grass-fed meat or the organic meat. All right, this is one thing that he highlight. And for the meat, sometimes people forgot about this. People, tends to go to the grass-fed after they buy back home. The key here also how we cook the meat that really matters. He has a one chapter talking about how we cook the meat. Sometimes when we cook the meat in a very high temperature, for example, we go and fry it, grill it, or we go to smoke it in a very high temperatures like more than 130 degrees Celsius. This way really can create these carcinogenic compounds, which is the nitroamides. For example, like the heterocyclic amines and also the polycyclic hydrocarbon, aromatic hydrocarbon. All this can cause cancer, in short.
Yeah, you're talking a lot of Greeks, right? Okay, it causing cancer, so cancer induced factors. Okay.
Yes. So people forgot about how they cook the meat does matter. So we need to use a lower temperature. For example, like you go to roast it, you go to what to say, bake it, stew it. This is one of the great way to cook the meat. Rather than you go and fry it, you go to grill, you go to smoke it, you will see those side that char. Char means that there's a black color, all this thing, right? It is very carcinogenic, which is very cancer pruning, right? And he suggests one thing. Dr. Heyman, he suggests one is we marinate our meat first. Marinate. Marinate, when we
Yeah.
marinate with the meat with a very healthy way is using garlic, onion, lemon juice. For him, he's just sharing with us is using the garlic, onion, or other spices coming together is a very healthy way that prevents the after when you cook it, all the carcinogenic compound, the toxic compound will not fall. So this is one of the way. So if you want to eat healthily, go to marinate first before you go and cook your meat. This is one of the way. In front of me, I actually jot down some notes. After that, I read from the book, right? And one of the big thing that I want to highlight is hot dogs. Gideon, do you eat the hot dogs?
I seldom because you don't know what inside, right? Ingredients they put inside,
Yes.
and usually it makes a lot of things.
Yeah, and Dr. Mark, he has specialized one column talking about say no to hot dogs. It's like when it comes to hot dogs, I don't know about you all that I have this. I would not say privilege, but I would say that there's a chance for me to get to know about food industry. And I do have friends that work in a hot dog factory, the factory that produce hot dog. You know what is inside? You have all types of chemicals, synthetic chemical they added in, and also the hot dog is not made from meat. They're made up from all the different parts of the animal body. For
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
like intestine, the feet, all these things they actually put inside and they grind it together.
yeah.
They add all the different chemicals to make the hot dog flavor out. That is actually not the real food.
So not only hot dog, right? Even nuggets, patty, all
Oh,
this.
nugget later.
Okay.
Actually, jot down the nugget part at the end of the
So
under the
if we
top.
want to really eat hot dog, we have to make it ourselves.
Yes, if you can get some real, real one means that you make your own. The hot dogs, the outer layer is
Yeah,
actually
it's just outer
by
layer.
intestine, right? And I do have some seafood. They really made their own hot dogs. That is totally different story when it comes to like German hot dogs, right? They made themselves. That's really very delicious one. So please, by all means, cut your hot dogs intake. No hot dogs. I never know how when is the last time I take hot dogs. I don't know. Like 20 years ago, I never eat hot dogs because I also don't like
And
the
I think hot dog is quite popular in Western countries. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Not only Western. I mean, local. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, from Malaysia. I see how the kids eat hot dogs nowadays. Oh, it's horrible.
Okay.
All right, we jump on to the next topic. It's about the poultry. Poultry is like chicken.
And
I basically we talk about the chicken and also the eggs. Eggs is a very fantastic story to talk about. We put aside first. We talk about the chicken meat. All right, and Dr. Mark he suggests from this book is we buy organic one, which is like pasture raised chicken. All right, or we say sometimes if possible in any way that you can go and get to know about the farmers who raise the chicken. Like I know that Gideon, you normally you go and hunt for those free range
organic. Yeah.
chicken, right?
Yeah.
Organic chicken. It is one of the way, but Dr. Mark particularly, right? If people put free range chicken on the big label there, also have to be careful in the way of we don't know how long the chicken, how many hours per day the chicken is allowed to go outside from the chicken coop. 1 hour, half an hour, that they can claim that they're still a free range chicken. But one thing I get, if I want to eat chicken, I have this privilege to get to know one of the farmer that, oh, sorry, I have a very itchy nose, that somewhere near my neighborhood here, that is like on top of the hill, and they rear the chicken that we really can see the chicken running here and running there. There's a really free range one, and they really took like 5 to 6 months to rear the chicken. So it's not the farm farm chicken that
But the
we
thing about farm chicken that is not good is because of the injection they are given, or what is the reason why you say
one thing
it's
is
because
yeah the hormone that they
a
jab.
hormone
Yeah,
inject?
second is the feed, the chicken feed, what they actually eat, the chicken, what the food they give to the chicken.
Okay,
That really matters a lot, you know.
okay.
So as much as we can find is this is what Dr. Mark, because today we are talking about his book, he really suggests on one thing is when we cook the meat or cook the chicken meat, we got to make sure that we fully cook it. Don't put half cook. In order to kill all the germs, the bacteria, you know, we have all the life-threatening bacteria, for example, salmonella, the Escherichia coli, the enterococcus, all this is a very life-threatening bacteria. If you can see that I can read the name so well, it's because I was trained as a food scientist to memorize all the bacteria name, and I do the lab work to really know the bacteria, the microorganism that exists in the food. Um, One thing, just now, Gideon, you mentioned about nugget,
Yes, chicken nugget.
chicken McNugget. Okay, when we talk about chicken McNugget, later McDonald will come after me. So, to Dr. Mark, chicken McNugget is not a real food.
No.
All right, it's a processed food. It is being processed until become something that you cannot recognize is a chicken meat or not. When we want to eat chicken meat, we have to make sure it's an intact chicken meat. We can see the muscle, the meat is intact with the bones. That type is called chicken meat, right? It's not the one being processed to something that you cannot even recognize is a chicken meat. Even we call chicken McNugget. So
Okay.
he's highly recommend avoid the chicken McNugget. That's one thing that I highlight to tell you all because I know that we love to go to fast food. Once in a while, I still allow myself to go to the fast food. So don't be surprised if you see me in the fast food restaurant. All right, once in a while, like a year once like this. So second, talk about the egg. I think Gideon, you have a lot of idea to ask about
I think
egg.
a lot of people are avoiding egg. I mean the egg yolk, not avoiding egg. Right? So maybe you want to clear the myths about egg. Yeah.
Yes, so much. You know, I love to eat all types of bread except raw egg. I don't eat raw. I eat hard boiled, half boiled, or whatever how you cook the egg. Dr. Mark he mentioned one thing about egg. Yes, there is all the research being done. There is no correlation between eating egg yolk can increase your cholesterol level and also link to the heart disease. There are so many studies have been shown. Please go and remember that. And I know that a lot of people would choose, to eat the egg white rather than the egg yolk. That I would want to invite you all to come to eat everything plus the egg yolk because the egg yolk is the one that having so many great nutrient, mineral, vitamins are inside. So the egg white is full of protein. Major nutrient is actually protein. The egg yolk itself is the one having some mineral and vitamins, which is so good for our health. So please, by all
Does
means,
the doctor mention he only recommend organic eggs or any eggs will do?
okay. He particularly mentioned about omega three.
Omega 3 eggs.
Yeah, omega 3 egg. If you want to go to buy some eggs, you can go to choose the omega 3s, omega 3 eggs. Why? Because the chicken was fed with a high omega 3 diet, which is flaxseed. I'm not mistaken. I'm getting from my memory from his book, flaxseed. The diet from the chicken they eat, then they're able to produce the egg, which is high in omega 3. Yeah,
But
this is
still,
what.
is there a limit? Like if I'm a senior citizen, should I eat less egg when I age going up?
No, but for me, I do not. I mean, for Dr. Mark, he did not particularly mention about senior citizen or what.
Okay,
But one thing is for adults, 1 to 2 eggs should be no problem.
1 to 2 eggs per day.
We are
Okay.
not recommending you exceeding, if you like. For me, I even like it, but I don't eat like more than 3 per day. Maximum I go for is 3 2 to 3, right? So if you want, it's just like one will be very good enough. And he mentioned about something that I also want, I practice myself, and I really want you all to practice together, which is recommended by Dr. Mark. When you, before you want to crack your egg, right? Before you want to crack your egg to cook, how you want to cook, or soft boil, hard boil, whatever boil, go and clean it up gently under the warm water. Clean up, clean the outer shell. You know the egg
It's
itself.
full of bacteria.
Yes, you know you can see the egg is full of sometimes chicken pieces,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and
Got you.
the outer shell itself having some bacteria can be like salmonella, the E. coli, like just now I mentioned. It's a very common bacteria that exists in the pieces of the chicken. So
Why warm water, not cold? Can we wash with cold water? Just
cold
easy.
water is not so good because we are trying to kill a little bit the outer layer, but not the hot one yet. Because when you want to cook, but this is only the outer shell, right? So I want to say something about my mom. My mom always said, okay, a little bit of crack, it's okay. You can still eat the egg. For me, I throw away the egg because
It go
once you have
inside.
the little crack, the bacteria can actually go inside the egg that can contaminate the egg. How you cook it, it is also very dangerous. And
Yeah.
please, I do all the labs about sorting the microbe um, on the egg, like even our local roti canai, we call
I want
roti.
to ask you an interesting question.
Yeah,
Do we once we wash the egg, do we need to keep in the fridge, or we just keep in normal
again,
temperature?
again for your question.
Do we need to keep the egg in the fridge, or we just keep in the open air like normal temperature,
Is
room temperature?
I'm keeping in the fridge
Okay, okay,
to make it the freshness. I would say that
okay,
for
okay.
freshness purpose, I will keep it into the fridge. And also, when it comes to the bacteria, when it is under 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, they are not so active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just now you mentioned you eat roti canai. Oh
I
no.
told you already, what I love all this also, but once
Okay,
in a while.
okay.
Okay, I know that we are going to exceed our time so much. You see, Gideon, I told you already. We cannot stop talking one. Third, talking about the milk and the dairy. There are so many myths about drinking milk is good for our bones. To build our strong bones, we need the milk, which is totally wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong, wrong, and wrong. You know, this Dr. Mark is very cute and he said, no nonsense guy. When he said no nonsense, he said, this is a statement people always think. He said wrong. He will directly like wrong.
But you mean any milk or only cow milk?
Cow's milk. We are
Only
talking
cow's milk,
about
yeah. Yeah.
cow's milk,
I heard
but
a lot. Yeah.
particularly right now is cow's milk. So many people of us we think that cow's milk is so good for our bone health because there are so many advertisements outside. They're really misleading us. So please know that we have so many vegetable and also other product, for example, like sardine, tofu, yogurt, spinach,
But
almonds.
what not so good about cow's milk?
Cow's milk, why not good? Okay, there's so many things. Cow's milk not good because it's a very highly inflammatory and it can cause a lot of gut issue, allergies, eczema, and also if you have acne. All right. So a lot of people is lactose intolerance.
Yeah, yeah.
And cow's milk is proven to increase your risk for cancer. Scary.
Wow.
Very, very scary. Why? Because the cow's milk itself has what we say the compound that able to push up the level of IGF-1. IGF-1 stands for insulin-like growth factor 1 in our body. So this is highly related to the cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. So it means that when the person having cancer, when you trace down what is the diet, there's a lot of factor that can influence the cancer. That's about another topic.
Wow.
So Dr. Mark mentioned that today we talk about the book, right? I want to highlight what he's saying. It's not the total calcium intake that matters. It is how much calcium that you can hold on to it
Yeah.
that matters, right? right? So a lot of people keep pumping a lot of calcium into their body, whether they take the calcium supplements or whatever. But please make sure that you take the vitamin D as well,
Yeah.
right? Vitamin D3 help the absorption of the calcium. This is one of the key. And vitamin D also found that they can really help to strengthen our bones. That's what is really, really highlight from Dr. Mark in this book. And one glass of milk averagely can have 60 different hormone inside. Scary. 60 different hormones. Why the cows is when they are fed, right? They constantly being fed with a lot of hormones. For example, what the cows eat, supposedly they have to eat the grass. Sometimes right now the farm
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 raised.
raised cow, they no longer eat grass. They eat all types of don't know what grains or other food-like substances. They to grow them or to get the jab, to get a hormone, so that they can grow bigger, right? So that's the reason why milk is not suitable at all to eat that. Okay, if you want to find alternative, goat's milk.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
goat's milk is one of the alternative because the goat's milk is do not have the A1 casein. They only have the A2 casein, which is okay for our body. So that if you are lactose intolerance, you can eat that, right? And also, goat's milk has something very good, which has a high level of MCT. MCT stands for medium medium chain triglyceride, which is very good for our brain metabolism and also the brain function. So this is something about milk. Yeah. You didn't want to ask me something?
No, I think I learned a lot about milk. Just
Yeah.
I think we need to continue tell people because I think especially a lot of people when they are feeding their baby, they
Oh,
are if the mothers really don't have milk, sometimes they have to find some replacement. Yeah.
and I found that they got recommendation from doctors to drink all the different types of baby infant formula that which is not suitable for the baby. Okay. And maybe we definitely we extend our time. Talk about the fish. I just tell you, I love fish so much. I every day eat fish. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork. I don't eat other meat. I eat fish. That's the fish. Okay. People ask farm fish or the wild fish that
Yeah.
catch from the sea. So choose the wild catch. Don't choose the farm fish. Why? Because farm fish itself, it's a very you know, we have to take care of what the feed, what is
What they eat. Yeah.
where they eat. When they are farm raised, right? It's like they give them eat the soil, the grains, or any food that is not suitable for the fish to in order for them to grow bigger. So it is actually not healthy. And the second way is about this one is the farm fish, right? They swim in their own feces. Farm fish they are in a big pond, right? So they are swimming in their own feces, which is having a lot of bacteria and also the parasites, which is definitely not good. Dr. Mark highlight in this book, not from me. Okay, today we are talking about this book. Whatever I say is from this book, right? And Dr. Mark recommend eat small fish. What he means by small fish, I wondered, what is a small fish when I read that? He said, any fish that can fit into your pan, your plate or the pan is actually called small fish. For example, like sardine, salmon, or the anchovies, which is small enough, right? So I eat some local one, but small fish has a very the concept, the disadvantages is because the fish is having lower level of omega 3, which is good for our health, our aspect, particularly our heart health. So that's why there's a big concept. But the bigger fish that we have the omega 3, which is very high, but the omega at the concept disadvantages side also we have a very high level of heavy metal
Yeah.
because of the bioaccumulation toxicity or the heavy metal in the body of the fish when they grow bigger.
Mm.
Pro and cons. That's it. Last part, vegetable. We talk only five things, we're taking like half an hour already. Vegetable. Eat different types of vegetable. Variety of color of vegetable. For example, like red color, like tomatoes, carrots. Blue, purple, like red cabbage. Then you have purple potatoes, beetroot. Then green color like broccoli. Super good food. Broccoli. Go and check it out. Broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. I love broccoli so much because that's the only vegetable that has sulforaphane, which is a very powerful antioxidant and is anti-cancer. And cabbage, orange color like pumpkin, sweet potato, yellow green like spinach, yellow corn, pale green white one like garlic, onion, leeks, all this thing, super good food. Go and check it out. Eat a variety. When you cook the food, you see the dish. You need to see different color.
But
That's
yeah, we have to wash properly, right? If you are not eating organic, there's a lot of pesticide, right?
Hmm.
Vegetables.
Ah, good question. I would say that we, Dr. Mark, we are talking about this book. Dr. Mark recommend is go organic as much as possible that you can. All right. If it is outside your budget to go, there is a few um, vegetable that you can go for non-organic. For example, broccoli, cauliflower. Those vegetable do not have green leafy one. It's still okay. Which are hard shell one. I mean the skin is very hard one. Still okay. But if you have the budget, go for the organic. This is what Dr. Ma always mentioned about it.
Hmm.
So washing properly or not, sometimes the pesticide can be fat soluble. Means that how much water you run under the thing, sometimes the fat soluble pesticide or herbicide may not able to wash out all the pesticide or herbicides. That can be very potentially toxic to our body, and for long term it may really hurts your gut, hurting your brain. So sometimes you may ask why I keep feeling stressed, why I keep feeling tired, fatigue, or no energy, cannot focus, cannot concentrate. It can because of toxic. That's why Dr. Mark always mention about get the diet that's low in toxic. So taking care of our whole body, that definitely can help us to live a happy and vibrant life.
Should we eat raw, like not half cooked, because we don't want to get the nutrition away if you fry too much on
No,
our
no, no.
vegetable?
Some food, right? I forgot whether Dr. Mark mentioned, this is from my own opinion, right? As a food scientist, I do 5 years research on food nutrition. I get to know one thing is not all the food we can eat raw. All right, not all the vegetable that we can eat raw. For example, broccoli. We are not recommending you to go and eat raw broccoli because the nutrient, like for example, the sulforaphane that I mentioned, right? You need to cook it at least for 2 to 3 minutes in order for it to release out. And you cannot cook too long. Maximum 3 minutes. If best you can cook is 3 minutes. When you steam it, like 3 minutes. If you overcook it, you will destroy the compound that is no longer able to be useful for our body. So keep it until like 3 minutes. So
Wow.
we need to cook it because all the vegetable, the plants, right, they have the cell wall. And the nutrient is actually kept inside the cell. So we need to break the cell wall in order for the nutrient to release out. You get what I mean? You didn't?
Okay. Okay. But a lot of people they eat salad.
Some food okay,
Yeah.
some vegetable okay, like lettuce. I eat
Lettuce.
lettuce raw also, but some like especially broccoli. No, there is not no way for you to eat raw. Tomato you can eat raw, yes, but some most of the green leafy vegetable try not to eat raw.
Wow. There's a lot of knowledge. We should get a long list from you. Like cauliflower 3 minutes, this tomato 2 minutes. Because there's so many vegetables on the market, right? We don't know how long we should cook.
Yeah, but sometimes as someone that you cook, right? For a lot of people cannot really take care of the time. You know, like my mom asked her, "How long you cook?" She said, "I just estimate." I said, "What?
Yeah.
Estimate?
Yeah.
I use timer." She said, "I estimate." Then I said, "I use timer. Can I?" That's why she has her own way to cook. That's why there's a lot of things to discuss definitely.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
you
If
would
you,
love to join my inner circle, I
yes, let's
tell
join
you
you to
inner
learn more.
circle. Gideon's is already inside my inner circle that sometimes we have all this topic to talk about all the types of different food that we eat. And also definitely I have this wellness masterclass that I can put the link in the below. You go and check it out and sign up yourself so that you can get a 1 year complimentary free in my wellness inner circle that we meet up twice a month. That will be glad that I can see you in the inner circle and in the masterclass. See you. Thank you so much for today. We use half an hour.